Most border crossings fall into one of two categories: boring or even more boring. Add lines of people that seem to stretch on for miles and idling cars billowing out clouds of exhaust, and the inescapable task of crossing from point A to point B can become tedious indeed. But not all border crossings are defined by drudgery. If anything, they can stand out as a travel highlight. From strange locations to spectacular views, here are 5 of the weirdest border crossings worth the trip. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel to know more intriguing things from around the world. Let's dive in. Bal-Nassau, the Netherlands/Belgium. It's highly unlikely that there's a more elaborate border crossing than the one zigzagging through Bal-Nassau, a Dutch town that shares the border between the Netherlands and Belgium with its sister city Baarle-Hertog on the Belgium side. All told, there are more than 24 separate pieces of land belonging to Belgium embedded into the Netherlands like a patchwork quilt, the result of numerous medieval treaties and land swaps over the years. To keep things orderly, the two countries agreed to define their borders by installing white crosses into the pavement around town. These designators are so precise that they run through shops, storefronts, lawns, even a cafe. At one time, Dutch law required restaurants to close early, but rather than kick out patrons, waiters would simply move guests to tables on the Belgian side of the cafe. Elections are a challenge in the towns too. Houses are split by the border as well. The towns determine who lives in which country by the location of their front door. Mount Everest, China/Nepal. Other than the wind whipping past at breakneck speeds, it's relatively low-key at the approximately 29,000-foot summit of Mount Everest. Very few people can attest that they've made the dangerous trek to the top of the Himalayas' highest point, which straddles China and Nepal and is the tallest mountain peak in the world. Land Art Festival, Poland/Ukraine. Most international borders are defined by nothing more than a welcome to XYZ sign and an unassuming customs office. But that's not the case for this stretch of farmland shared by Horodishchik, Poland, and Werej, Ukraine. In 2011, the two countries tapped Polish-born artist Yaroslav Koziara to create a piece of land art that encompassed acreage on both sides of the border for an annual land art festival celebrating the intersection between art and nature. The result is a massive crop circle fish that symbolizes the unity between the two countries. Koziara created the temporary masterpiece by planting various seeds into a fish-shaped pattern. Visit this year's Land Art Festival June 30th through July 9th. Khunjerab Pass, Pakistan, China. At 15,397 feet in elevation, Khunjerab Pass, a mountainous highway that pierces through the Pakistani and Chinese border, is the highest paved international border crossing in the world and marks the highest point on the Karakoram Highway, KKH. But the true stars of the trip are the breathtaking 360-degree vistas. They make the drive more than worth the extra gas. In the distance are the Karakoram Mountains, a massive range that spans 311 miles and crosses through Pakistan, China, and India. The Karakoram Range contains the world's highest concentration of mountains over 26,000 feet in height, including K2, the world's second tallest peak. The pass is also home to several glaciers and traces a similar path to the Silk Road, an ancient series of routes that merchants used to trade silk and other goods, although some historians question its existence. Northwest Angle, United States, Canada. What looks like an unassuming convenience store called Jim's Corner in the northwest angle between Minnesota and Manitoba, Canada, is really a tighter border crossing building equipped with a video phone with 2 lines, one to a customs agent in Canada and one for the United States, depending on which direction you're heading. That's not the crossing's only unusual feature. To get to the US side of Jim's Corner, visitors have to drive through Canada. The crossing is tucked in Lake of the Woods, Minnesota, an exclave that is completely surrounded by Canada and is the northernmost contiguous portion of the United States. Long ago, map makers misjudged the location of the source of the Mississippi River, Lake Itasca, leading to a border that requires travelers to go through the United States to get to Canada to get to the United States. Confused yet?